Everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the week of September 19th to the 26th. You can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings on top of your Sun sign reading today, Scorpio, if you'd like further clarity for the week, or in case this isn't resonating with you for any reason. I'll be using the medicine cards for your main spread today, and then as always drawing additional message cards from each of the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Healing with the Angels Oracle. This is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most prominent for you this week in your life, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Scorpio need to know this week? Okay, so Scorpio, we have your cards out. Let's just get a little snapshot of what's going on with all of these four cards together, and then we'll look at these one by one. So the first thing I'm noticing here is that there is a weaving. There's a general sort of design or pattern or plan or concept that you'd like to apply, or that is being applied to all phases of your week. And this is weaving. So this is an intention, okay? And what I'm seeing here is that you have a very definitive outcome. You have probably a beautification ritual here. Something having to do with the beautifying either your surroundings or the self, both currently and long term. But you might be, or if you're not currently, you're being asked to look at what those hidden reasons are. Why would you be doing these things? Or perhaps what looks very obvious to you isn't so obvious to someone else, especially if it looks as though the beautification is all of a sudden, or it looks like it doesn't make sense to someone else for whatever reason, not that it has to, but it's very meaningful for you in that you have a very probably old reason for doing this, or at least one that you haven't gone back and reassessed. So there could be a call to maybe reassess a certain beautification ritual or a long-term beautifying ritual here. It's not even negative necessarily, it's just about understanding why you would be partaking in these things. And then there is an element of fear here. So I just wonder if there isn't a whole lot of, I think this week could be speaking to getting to the source of why you would be engaging in certain rituals. What are you planning to get out of it? What do you believe you're getting out of it? What are perceived or real benefits from it? And again, it's not necessarily bad either. It's just that this is a process here and you have a long-term plan here. The only reason why I'm a little bit hesitant about it being overarchingly positive with no problematic qualities is that it could be fear-based, or it could grow into something that becomes fear-based in terms of losing something. Okay, anytime we're talking about beautification rituals, obviously, as long as you're aware of the long-term concept of beautification, especially through aging or especially through life changes. So I think there's just a little call this week to be aware of beautification juxtaposed with or in conjunction with the aging process, or just being the soul, being the self. So we're looking at both a physical and the physical self is really heightened, okay, hyper accentuated this week, or, you know, generally here. But this week is saying, well, why would that be? Where does this stem from? Okay, so that's a general idea of what's going on here. With Weasel in your current position, this is hidden reasons. This is stealth, okay? Its keyword is stealth. And it's basically how you're moving throughout things, how you're getting things. But of course, the motivation behind stealth is hidden reasons. Not everyone has to know why you're doing what you're doing, and that's completely valid. But you do, right? You need to know exactly why you're doing certain things. You don't want to be an automaton. You don't want to act, go about behaving in the world as though you're a zombie. Or it's because, and I just mean zombie in the sense where you're not conscious of why you would be setting certain goals or having certain themes or outcomes. It's a really good week to look at hidden reasons behind definitive outcomes materially, as opposed to what's the other side of the material world, and that's of course the spirit world, your spiritual life. There is a call this week to do this, okay, because of the weaving, because of the long-term, I'm trying not to say fallout, but the long-term implications of this. You see, with 8, okay, so anything with 8 here, we're looking at infinity. We're looking at possibly doing something over and over and over, maybe even doing something in this life that you've already done, or doing in another life, or doing something in this life that you wanted to do in another life or in another incarnation, and that is a type of hidden reason, or that is a type of stealth, and you might not even be able to explain this, Scorpio, and it's okay. This comes with no judgment. What I'm trying to suggest here is that you become aware of why this is, and as long as you're comfortable with this and you understand how deep, okay, so anything when we're dealing about hidden or in infinity or incarnates, we're dealing with extremely old energies, ancient energies here. So it could be that this week is a certain fulfillment for you, or at least you're going about this week with long-term planning here toward beautification, generally through ritual, predominantly female or feminine ritual here. This could very well be a birth, by the way. If you're pregnant, or if you have a project or a creative project, it could be published this week, or you could actually be bringing a new baby of any species into the home, and you could be giving birth as well. I just want to throw that out there as well, Scorpio, in case that's what's going on. But barring that, definitely looking at deep motivations, okay, probably ancient motivations here, and you could be fulfilling a will here. And like I said, you may not even know what it is, where it stems from. I'm suggesting that you do, just being one of the deepest signs of the psychically and emotionally deepest signs of the zodiac, I'm pretty certain that you're aware, or at least acknowledging, some of the hidden reasons or motivations here behind moving in a very specific direction for yourself. Like I said, it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. I just think it's really interesting here that it could be an incarnate, and that you could be trying to fulfill something in this incarnation, in this lifetime, that for whatever reason, and I do understand this, that can come with a lot of fear, that can come with a sense of loss, okay? And this is all that fear is. Fear is just, it's a lack of love, it's a lack of understanding, and it's a clinging. So I think and of course this is the influence to the current position. So the current position being stealth or hidden reasons. And here we have loss, fear, misunderstanding, or just being scared in general here. So I think the only reason why there could be any feelings around that for your Scorpio is because of a possible reincarnation here in process of this theme, where there could be some resistance from you because you're trying to figure out what the hidden reasons are, or maybe the past life anything isn't sitting well with you, or you don't like that answer. Or even if you do like that answer, it's still uncomfortable because it's this incarnation. So I think whatever you are going through this week is probably very natural just to the human experience. But the whole point being is that you're moving through it. And this is the mastery, ultimately, of fear, is love, okay? You love yourself regardless. You accept the challenge regardless of understanding it, or acknowledging, or even accepting the hidden reasons or motivations behind it. And this requires a great deal of courage. So I think that you will be in process of developing your courage this week as well. It's important to put away any fear around this as well, including a clinging. So if there's any clinging this week to an idea, a habit, a concern, a lifestyle, even an outcome, okay? Maybe part of this week could be spent enjoying the ride, enjoying this incarnation, even when you're moving in a certain direction. Because something is unfolding. Like I said, I really feel like something is unfolding for you that you are a player in, just like we all are, okay? We're all fulfilling some sort of play. The world is a stage. I really do believe that. But I think that you are hyper aware of this. And because of that, it's, like I said, it could create a little bit of discomfort, or a little bit of a challenge, even if the challenge is to not cling, or the challenge is to not cling to what you currently have, or what you feel like you have to give up, or outcomes, okay? So I think that could just be your saving grace this week, is to just have that plan, keep moving in this direction, understand these hidden reasons for yourself. You don't need to explain to anyone else. But to go with it through love, okay? To really draw upon that courage of yours, and move through it, because this is truly what you're going through this week in particular, Scorpio, from what I'm seeing here, is definitively yours to do. Nothing about this week is accidental. What you're about to discover this week is going to assist you in the future. Anytime that we overcome fear, creates new armor for you. So you'll be stronger at the end of this. And if you can reject clinging, I think that'll be your saving grace this week. With Otter being your probable outcome, this is the coquette, okay? This is woman medicine. That's what the card stands for. This is all about flirting. This is all about female ritual. This is about being at your peak in every way. Business, heart, soul, being in tune, friendships, self-care, self-development, but also beauty and style. And like I said, this is what's being sort of created. This is expanded. And I'm not surprised here that this would be a reincarnate option for you here. Like I said, you've either lived this way in at least one other life, or you've missed out, and this is your incarnation to do this here. So I just think here, as long as there's no clinging, then you're going to be absolutely fine, perfectly fine here. This courage will serve you, Scorpio. Please don't be afraid. Your challenge this week is to avoid clinging from what I can see here, and keep getting in touch with yourself as well. Keep going deep if you want to know, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually this week. If you want to know what those hidden reasons are, those answers are available to you, okay? We have Spider up here saying that those answers are available to you, because this is very much, you're headed very much in process for yourself, for your story. Treasure Island, this is gorgeous. This is really just benefit, pure benefit, okay? We have turtle, one of the most ancient symbols in all of written history regarding the creation myths of the world. One of the original creation myths was, of course, that, the world rested on the back of a turtle. And of course, we're looking at water. This is a very emotional card. So there's a lot of prosperity, a lot of wealth here. But again, this isn't just limited to material wealth. This is spiritual wealth. It is the wealth of beauty. It is the wealth of understanding. And I'm going to add courage, okay? Courage, I imagine how much better a world it would be if every individual had courage to get through something difficult and was as strong as you've been in planning this for yourself and overcoming any obstacles. And like I said, especially if you feel sometimes as if you're moving along sort of kind of as if there were a script that you're unaware of, or that you hadn't read but has been written already, if that makes sense. Playfulness. Cannot express this enough. This is one of the highest vibrations in the world. This is your antithesis to fear, Scorpio. Playfulness. Another term for this, of course, is just laughter. Just be childlike. Enjoy things. Find joy in the little things. Find reasons to be playful. If you meet eyes with an actual child this week, anyone under 5, or any non-human animal, all animals have this same spirit. If you can meet eyes with any of them, you will be seared by that in the most beautiful way. It will touch you in the most beautiful way. So please allow this into your life this week. And like I said, this is the cure to the fear. Courage and playfulness is the cure for you this week. If you have any issues coming through the other side of this, especially if you're looking for what that former incarnation might have been, or maybe it's not an important question for you and you're just trying not to cling to something here while weaving something magnificent for yourself, full well understanding that there's a story being told and played out here by you, even if you don't fully understand it. It does take courage. So congratulations for continuing with this. Please continue taking very good care of yourself. Work from a high vibration. Enjoy your prosperity. And every moment possible, find a reason to smile, find a reason to laugh, and share it with others. It's one of the most beautiful things that any person can do. So Scorpio, that is your reading for the week. If you have a second, please let me know how it works out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care. Bye for now.